Oh boy, what a wild night, Neil. 51-6. Look, this is a great win for Penn State. They played okay. What happened to Pitt?
They just unraveled. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's leadership. I mean, they just had all kinds of problems, penalties, lack of discipline, starting with the head coach, who Narduzzi apologized after the game to the Pitt faithful. I mean, they were right in the game. I fully expected it to be a 1 or 2 score game because Pitt really competed in the first half. They made mistakes, but Penn State couldn't stop the run. And then it just seemed like, I don't want to say Pitt quit. I think that's real harsh, but I think they really lost their spirit.
I think this was a one-trick pony kind of game tonight. Look, Pitt ran for 214 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
That's great. At 6 points. The 4th down and 3 call from the 4-yard line was stupid. I just thought that was a horrendous call. You're down 7-6. You have a chance to take the lead in the rain. I thought that was a horrendous call by Pat Narduzzi. So what happens? Penn State stops that. Pitt didn't run well the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So when Penn State figured it out, and then Pitt comes out to start the second half, they go backwards 3 yards. Pitt's offense just could not throw the ball.
They really didn't recover from that, but there were a couple plays. The fumbled snap with a minute to go in the first half on the punt that Penn State took over. Now, Penn State's only leading 7-6. They go in, they punch a touchdown in, they go up 14-6. They get the ball to open the third quarter, and they just start rolling. And Pitt doesn't have a come from behind offense.
Because they couldn't throw the ball. I mean, really, as well as they ran the ball. And you look, Pitt has always run the ball.
Yeah.
But they just really, Kenny Pickett is a good quarterback prospect. What do you think happened to Pitt's passing game?
It's hard to explain. I mean, Penn State did a better job on defense covering the guys. I think there were some coverage sacks. Hey, Kevin Givens, the Altoona kid, nice to see him return from whatever issue there was. Obviously, he stubbed his toe, but it was nice to see him really be involved last week. Even though he didn't play, you could see he was engaged on the field in timeouts. So, the fact that he came back, I think he gave the defensive line a big lift.
It was just
more of a pass rush on Pickett.
It's just wild. You look at a lot of the stats. Trace McSorley, 14 of 30. Receivers dropping balls. Penn State giving up 245 yards rushing. If I gave you those stats at the beginning of the game, you're going to think this is at least somewhat of a reasonable kind of game. Instead, it's 51-6. So again, you take any win you can get, and James Franklin said they're not going to apologize for wins after App State. This was not a great performance, but when you beat your supposed rival 51-6, wow.
14 penalties by Pitt, horrendous special teams. I mean, just awful. I mean, I don't know that you could find a game where the special teams by one team have been worse. It's just a laundry list. You allow a punt return for a touchdown, all kinds of face mask penalties on special teams. So Pitt, I really think Pitt is better than they showed here.
They can run the ball. If they get some passing going,
it was a tough night for the passing game, very wet, rained the whole night. But hey, Penn State handled that adversity. They didn't beat themselves.
Right.
That was and I think they showed way more discipline than Pitt did. And the fact that they corrected some of their issues last week on how they finished the game defensively, I think was encouraging.
Look, whether Penn State is a national championship contender, who knows? The one thing that they have shown consistently, James Franklin, Brent Pry, they can figure things out in the middle of the game. They can make adjustments at halftime. They don't commit a bunch of penalties. They don't generally turn the ball over a lot. Now, Ricky Slade had a couple fumbles. He's a freshman, and that's going to happen. But Penn State is a team that isn't going to come out and just completely embarrass itself.
The fumbles were surprising. It is a freshman. They only fumbled 8 times all year last year.
Yeah, but that's Saquon. Now you got Sanders and Slade, but still, it didn't cost them.
That's right. Hey, this is the game that they needed to improve in and show. It's kind of what they're taking a step forward. They very well should be 4-0 heading into Ohio State. So that's going to be a grand stage, likely at night, prime time, and we'll see what they can do in that game. In the meantime, they have Kent and then a trip to Illinois.
One last
Which will
thing.
even be later than this.
Yeah, one last thing on the series. There's one more game in this. They go to Penn State. If Pitt was going to get Penn State, this was going to be the last shot. I think Penn State's going to be better next year. The defenses with all these young guys is going to be better. But, so Penn State should probably win at home next year. And then we're not going to see this game for 10, 12, 14, 16 years. But here's the thing. If we're going to see this kind of nonsense, who wants to see this game again?
I think this was an isolated situation in this series. It's generally been competitive. I'm always going to think if they could have a couple games per decade, it still would be positive. I think there was a lot of enthusiasm for this game, particularly over here in Western Pennsylvania and in our area, and I'm always going to think that.
All right. Yes, it was wild. That's a wild game. No one would have expected 51-6. All right, for Neil, I'm Corey. Pat Wax on our video. Thanks for watching.